Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's gonna join us. Excuse me there. Little frog came to join us. If you're here, signing on either YouTube or on Facebook, please go ahead and say hello so we know who's here hanging out with us. And I am going to check to make sure we are officially live and get it out to all our friends on our groups to make sure everyone can join the fun. Let's see. Are we? We are live. There it is. Share groups, our VIPs, and our lovely team. Okay, I think we are good to go now. So we can put this aside. Hello, hello. Happy Palm Sunday, everyone. So please, again, go ahead and say hello and let me know you're here. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little housekeeping, and then we can go ahead and get started. Hey, Sherry, so glad you could join. Happy to see you. So we are in our paper pumpkin subscription here. April has shipped, and we are now into our May subscription period. You have from now until May 10th. And the May kit is going to be the Mountain Majesties. It's going to create Father's Day cards with layered mountain landscapes. You're going to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. Pre-cut vellum and paper pieces. You're going to get watercolor card bases and coordinating envelopes, and the coordinating colors will be Basic Black, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, and Petal Pink. And of course, the ink spot will be Misty Moonlight, which is one of my favorite blues. Hello, hello. Well, happy early birthday to you, Miss Sherry. Happy to see that. There is the Hugs a Bloom dies that are an add-on that you can purchase with your subscription. It is an add-on. I believe they're like around to $12. Yeah, it doesn't say here, but I'm pretty sure they're like right around $12 for the coordinating dies, and they do go with all of the kits for the entire quarter. And next quarter, there'll be brand new dies coming out with that. And then, of course, moving along, we now have our online exclusives that were released in early March. Pages and pages and pages of this amazing product. Love everything that they did release. This was one of my favorite releases ever. So again, just make sure that you visit my online store so that you can see all of the awesomeness. Today, we are focusing on the Faith Collection. This is a beautiful bundle by Stampin' Up. Perfect for this time of year. Here we are in the Easter season. Next week is Easter. So, of course, there will not be a Facebook Live on Sunday. And sure to enjoy their Easter with their family. However, I am going to be doing a live, but it will not be on Facebook. I will be going live on, it's kind of like Zoom. It's not Zoom. It's called Butter. But everyone's going to be invited. I will share the link here on Facebook and on, well, not on YouTube, but I'll share the link on my Facebook page. For anyone who would like to join, you can grab a kit or any project that you're working on and just come hang out and just do some crafty chat. You'll actually be able to chat back and forth. It's like I said, it's going to be like a Zoom, but it's not Zoom. It'll run right off your browser. You don't have to download anything to your computer. Just click the link and join. So that will be Friday. It's Good Friday. I understand that, but I thought it would be a great time to just get together, just craft and chat and visit. So I will be sharing that link on Friday. So be looking for that. I will be live from 7 to 9. It's not something you have to be there for the whole time. You pop in when you can, hang out, do a little crafting. Again, bring any project that you're working on or a kit that you maybe have not put together yet. you're anything like me, you got kits piling up. So I'm going to just grab a kit and just hang out and craft. And again, you pop in when you can, you leave when you need, and you can pop back in if you still find that you have time. But I will be live from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. It'll just be fun. Just grab your crafty friends and come hang out for some craft and chat and get a little crafty on Friday. All right, on to the projects again, featuring. Where's my screen? There we go. All right, so we are doing the Faith Collection this weekend. Love, love, love this. Again, perfect for today is Palm Sunday. We have this little palm piece here. Did not use this one piece, but we did use everything else. Great sentiments. Thinking of you. He is risen. God is love. And let your faith be bigger than your fears. So we are going to play with this. And oh my goodness, I had some fun. So here are the 3 cards we're making tonight. We have He is Risen. Perfect for Easter. I love this set too, Arlene. So, but really pretty, super simple. None of these cards are difficult. They are all very, very simple cards, but they are beautiful cards. Then we have God is Love. And then, of course, let your faith be bigger than your fears. We even have a little radiation coming out. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. The radiate coming from the cross. And then, of course, our Easter lilies. All right. We're going to start with He is Risen, our perfect Easter card. Well, thank you, Sherry. I'm glad you like them. Thank you, Arlene. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We got our first card. I have my little packet here. I have a lemon lolly card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to go ahead and fold on that score line. And of course, using our bone folder, we're going to press out our little fold. Okay. Then, of course, I have a piece of Lost Lagoon that is 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a piece of soft sea foam that is 5 by 3 3/4. And I did go ahead and emboss it with the brick. I think it's worn. Yeah, exposed brick. So I went ahead and did that ahead of time, but it's the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. So I have that all embossed. And as you can see, it's so pretty. And then I have here one of the everyday arches. I'll tell you. Everyday Arches dies. It is counting from the outside in. It's the 4th die. And we're going to go ahead and die cut this. We need to use our Big Boss because our paper is not small enough to fit in the Baby Boss. So we're going to go into our Big Boss, which I have set up behind me, and we're going to die cut that arch out. So you want to try to get that as centered as possible. I have a little bit higher on the bottom, so we have a little more of a lip on the bottom than we do on the top, but side to side, I do want to try to get it as centered as possible. So right about there looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead excuse me, and run this through our Big Boss. Like I said, it is set up behind me. And let's shift it a little in the middle. That looks pretty good. And in we go. Okay, so now we have our arch piece. This you can put aside and save for another project, or in my case, I'm going to go ahead and use it for a blotter for my basic white piece, which measures 3 3/4 by 5. And that is going to go right behind our arched piece here, like so. So that's how that's going to attach. But for now, we're going to just bring this here. Set these aside for a minute. And I'm going to use that as my little piece, but I want to bring in my lemon lolly. So here's lemon lolly. Set that there for you. And I'm going to bring my blending brush. I'm going to pick up some ink. And then when I mean by blotting, just blot it off on my little scrap here. And then bring it to the middle. And we're going to just do some circles here. We kind of want an ovalish shape. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want a nice radiant look. Sherry, no, this stamp set will not be in the catalog. It is an online exclusive, so you'd have to go online to find it. But I don't believe it's on the last chance. I did not see last chance on it, so I think you're good for it for a little while. Okay, so there's our ink blending. Now I'm going to find my stamp here. This is the large stamp that has the palm fronds, we'll call them. And I'm going to use Garden Green to stamp that in. So we're going to get this inked up. Well, you're welcome. In Garden Green. There we go. And we are, you know what? I'm going to practice what I preach. I tell you all the time that when you're using photopolymers, you should really have a cushion. So let's do a cushion to make sure we have us a good impression. Pick that up. And we're going to go right for center-ish. Oh, hey, sis. Glad you could join. Ta-da! Now we have a really nice impression. Set that aside. Close this up. We are done with the Garden Green. And we need our little stamp cleaner here. Okay. So there's a really pretty cross start. So next we can go ahead. Well, let's do this first. Let's do He Is Risen. And for this, we're going to use Lost Lagoon. So we should probably bring back our cushion again. And we're going to ink up in Lost Lagoon. He is risen. These make the most beautiful Easter cards. I want to get right up there, kind of just to the edge of the fronds. He is risen. All right. So then we'll clean this stamp off quick. All right. Next, I have 2 pieces of early espresso, and they're just some scrap pieces. This one here I do have backed with an adhesive sheet. We need our baby boss. So we're going to bring our baby boss up. Grab our plates. All right, the one with the adhesive sheet, that is to do our very detailed cross that has the wooden, what do I want to call it? The wood texture, I guess, or wood grain. That's what we'll call it, the wood grain look, because it does cut out the grain. So we're going to go ahead and put that on our piece with the adhesive sheet, because that's going to go on top of the solid cross. Cut that down. So we'll put that aside. And then we have our solid cross, and that's going to come from our little scrap of early espresso here. And these will just layer. Okay. So we can put this aside. We're done with that for now. And that goes in our trash. And we need a little pokey tool here. Pull that right out, like so. Okay, so now, where did I put? There it is. We're going to take all of these, which hopefully they'll just come right out when we pull our adhesive sheet. Some of them are going to pop right out, but not all. That's okay. So then we're just going to poke the rest of them out. They will fall right out. Ooh. See how that little wood grain pop these out. There we go. Get these little tiny ones out. Oh, and that one too. And one more. Okay. And then we just layer these 2 crosses together. Oh, guess who's knocking on the door? See how they go together? Perfect. So now we have this nice textured cross here. So let me just get these little sticky shards or chads, whatever you'd like to call them, cleaned up here. I think Tucker found his way in. Now he's going to leave again. He's so nosy. Oh. He had to just come in and see what was happening, and now he's on his way out. Okay. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of glue. I kept this one a little bit flat. And then we're just going to lay this cross right in that space. Ta-da! Okay, next we are going to take this piece and we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive, a little to the corner. And then a little to the sides. Fold that in. Okay, so now this is going to line up like so. Now it looks like he is risen. I went over just a little bit too far. That's why I before like to, I thought I had it. I did not. We'll have to redo this one, but for future, make sure you get it over far enough. I was almost, but not quite. All right, keeping this card nice and flat. On the other ones, I do put the dimensionals on the cross, but this one I wanted to keep a little bit flatter because I am popping up the flowers. Okay. And then same thing, keeping this nice and flat. There we go. Next, we need a little scrap of basic white, and it's literally scrap off my table. And we're going to take the two, there's a double flower stamp, and then there's a single, which is a larger one. We're using the double with the two flowers. We're going to use our Memento black ink because we are going to use our Stampin' blends to color them in. So we want to make sure we're using Memento ink. So there's our pretty little flowers. Go ahead, cover that up. And chamois, clean that off. And we need, I've got the light and dark lemon lolly, and then I have the light peach pie. So we're going to start with our light lemon lolly, and we're going to color in all of our petals. Just a quick fill them in. Then we're going to take the dark and then just kind of coming out of the center and up. And then just to have a little extra pop, we have our peach pie, and it's just in the center of both of the flowers. So that's how that goes. And then we have a coordinating die. And this is going to go on just like so. And we're going to use a little bit of Post-it tape here. Make sure everything's all lined up. Looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and put that down too. And we'll bring back the baby boss. And our little piece. Next plate. And oh, hey, Kay. Oh, no worries. We're still on card 1, so you haven't missed too much. There's our pretty flowers. So then I'm going to, those are my, do I have any of the little ones? I think I do. I think I do. No, that's not it. Where's my little, I could have swore I had little baby dimensionals. I do. All right, here we go. Baby dimensionals. And we're just going to put one on the end here. And that's going to almost finish our card. We need, where did I put them? Yeah, they are. We need just a few little rhinestones here. And I just used a few little ones here just to make it look so sparkly. And there you have it. Card number 1. Quick and simple. Okay. So there is our first card. Second card. This one here. This is God is Love. And this one I pulled in a few other items. So for this one, I used the Memorable Blooms dies, which I used this one here, which gives you a nice stitched shape. And where is my, here it is. So for this one, we have a thick, basic white card base. Again, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and fold on that score line, and we will burnish that down with our bone folder. thank you, ladies. I'm glad you like that card. Then I have a piece of designer series paper. This is from, did I bring it over? I don't think I did. I cannot remember the name of this paper pack, but it's one in the annual catalog. I think it's the Long Journey or something journey. It's got all these beautiful watercolor scenes, but we're using this Lost Lagoon side. We're just going to go ahead and add that to the front of our card. So that's just going to layer on here. And this piece of designer series paper, it measures 5 1/4 by 4. Like so. And I did go ahead and already cut out my shape, but I did bring over, I wanted you to see when you cut out your shape, this particular die does leave a really pretty edge. So if you were to do like a shaker card or something, you wanted this window, you would have a really pretty decorative, there it goes. You'd get a decorative edge on that. So you can use this piece as well. So again, something you might want to set aside for another project. That's definitely something you could do. All right, so we're going to set our card base aside for just a minute, and then we're going to bring back our stitched piece. And I also brought in on this particular card the elements of text, which was an online exclusive, and I believe it's still available in the online store. You have to go like a few pages in before you find it, because this was one of the releases through over the winter. I believe it was like a December, January release-ish in there. But I'm using this big round one here. So I just wanted to show you where this stamp comes from. And it's this one right here. And it is red rubber. And I'm using Early Espresso to ink this up. So we're going to go ahead and ink that up really well. Just like that. Close it up. And we're just going to kind of go off center on this. Right about there. That looks good. Make sure you put enough pressure to transfer all of that ink. And there we have it. And then we're going to bring back our chamois, clean our stamp off, like so. And then I also have with me baby wipes, so we can clean off our work surface here and not have Early Espresso ink transferred to everything else. Got some glue on there too. Okay, I think we're good. There we go. All right. Onward and upward. So while that dries for a second, I have a scrap of basic white. And for this, I am going to, what did I do? Did I leave that over there? It appears I may have. Bear with me. I gotta go grab. I left my cross stamp over at my other seat. Hopefully, didn't hit the floor when I knocked a bunch of stuff over. Nope, sitting right here. Oh, goodness gravy. One of these days I'll get it all together. Okay. We have our cross, which does have a wood grain pattern on it. I'm going to bring in our Early Espresso again. So we're going to ink this up. And let's bring back our little cushion here, just to make sure. So there's our cross. This, I don't know who listens to country music here, but like when I was doing this wood cross, the song that came to my mind is Randy Travis. There are 3 wooden crosses. Like totally brought it to mind. So that song's been stuck in my head. Okay. And we need our big cross again. And this time we want Lost Lagoon. And if this set didn't bring that song to your head and I just stuck it in your head, I apologize. Okay, so now we're just going to take this and stamp. Ta-da! So now we can close this up. And clean you up. Okay. Next, before we go to doing our cutting, set this aside. We're going to bring back our blending brush and our lemon lolly. A little blotter piece here. Again. And then we're just going to do our circular. I'm not shaking the table too much on you. There we are. So we're done with that. No, we're not really done with that. Set it aside there. Okay. Now, nope. Let's finish all of our stamping before we go doing that. Close this up. And we need Early Espresso again. And where did I put? I know I have it here. What I do with it? Oh, there it is. There it is. I just have a little scrap off my desk. And that is for God is Love. So we're going to pull our Early Espresso, bring back our little cushion here. That way all of our stamping for this is completely finished. And then it's just cut and assemble. Okay. So we're just going to go to the far right of this little piece here and put God is Love. just like so. Close it up. Clean this off. And we're going to take our snips. We're going to trim that off just a smidge. At an angle. So that's now ready. Now we need get you out of the way. We need this piece. And we need our cross. Oops. Okay. Let's try to get that. There we go. That's better. And then this lines up about like so. And we can bring in our baby boss. This is too far. There we go. Now we should have our cross. And our little piece here, which looks like it shifted when I cut it, but that's okay. It's fine. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and add some dimensionals. This one gets popped up all over the place. This one's probably got more dimension than it probably should have, but when I got going, it was beautiful having the sun out for a change. But now they're talking Tuesday going into Wednesday, we're going to have more snow. I'm not amused. I'm ready to put my winter coat away. I'm done. All right, there we go. That goes down like so. This, we're going to add some dimensionals to that. And that's going to go right about, yay, there, I guess. And then this little guy, there's those little dimensionals again. We are going to do one there, one there. Ooh. our little pokey tool. And then we're going to place our cross. And then we're going to take the God is love, and we're just going to stick a dimensional right here on the very end. And a little tape runner there. And that is going to go like so. And then a few little gems, because card is not complete until you have at least something sparkly on it. So what we're going to do, one little one there, a medium, and a large. It's time for a new putty head. I gotta go find one. And a large. And that is card number 2. All right, we're moving right along. Final card. Well, thank you, Arlene. I'm glad you liked it. This one here is let your faith be bigger than your fears. And again, super simple. This one here, we have crumb cake is our card base. This one is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Only we're doing it in landscape mode here. So we're going to fold on our score line and burnish that with our. Next, I have a piece of basic white, 5 1/4 by 4. I have a scrap piece of crumb cake for our cross, as well as another piece of early espresso backed with some adhesive sheet for our layered piece here. And then I have scrap basic white for our flowers. So first thing, gonna set that aside. We're going to bring in, you guessed it, our blending brush and lemon lolly. So we're gonna get our lemon lolly. And you know what? Before we do that, I'm forgetting one step. I did cut out from our Stampin' Up! Masking paper. I cut a mask of our cross just to help me with placement. So we're going to go ahead and put our mask down. I want my cross to land right about here. So we're going to go ahead and put our mask down. Let's try getting him on there straight. There we go. That looks better. So then got my little come from the center out. And you'll see why the mask helps when we go to do our radiant light, I guess you could call it. So I'm just going around, getting a nice, that looks pretty good. I think that's about all we really need. And we'll call that plenty yellow enough. And then we're going to bring in Daffodil Delight. And that's what's going to be our radiant. There's this little radiant piece here. So we're going to ink that up in our Daffodil Delight. I did it initially in the Lemon Lolly, and it just blended in too much with the background that I inked on there with the ink blend. So I thought this was a little bit better. So this is why I have the mask, so I could see where this is. And now I'm having a hard time seeing. There we go. In those corners. There we go. That's why the mask helped me get all that placement. And now, close this up. I'm going to bring in this here piece. And I want my Let Your Faith Be Bigger Than Your Fears. And we want our Early Espresso. There we go. And that's going to go right here. Just like so. All right. So we clean this off. And set this aside for a minute. We can go ahead and remove our mask. And I'm going to put this right back in the case with my stamp set. So when I need it again, it's there and ready for me. And that's ready now to be applied to my card base. So we can go ahead and do that. Whoa. I guess that's the end of that tape runner. Good thing I brought another one over here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and add this to our card base. Oop. Next, we're going to go ahead and stamp our flowers. So I need the large one and the two smaller ones. And again, because we are using our Stampin' blends, we're going to use our Memento Black ink. And no fancy coloring on these. I'm using the exact same technique and colors that I used on the previous lilies. And we can go ahead and color those, and then we can do all of our cutting at the same time. So starting with the light, I'm just going to go ahead. Fill them in. I like the rays behind the cross myself. I think they look so perfect. Okay, so we're just gonna use a little of the light. And again, these are the Lemon Lolly markers. And then I have the light peach pie. And we're just going to bring in that to the center. Just to now we're going to get the solid out of the crumb cake. We're going to cut out the wood grained piece from our early espresso. And then we have our flowers. So let's see. For the flowers, we need the two little ones. This one here. Then the larger one. It's, come on. All right. Oop, don't move. All right, that one's moving. No, I don't like it. Let's try it. Okay. All right. Let's bring back the baby boss. Run those little flowers through. There's our flowers. Oops. Our solid cross. And our detailed wood grain. Oh, I do have a little tip to share with you guys. I don't know if you knew this or not, but in case you ever come across a die that didn't make it into the package with your in your cleanup, and you find the lone die and you don't know where it belongs and what it comes with, you'll find a little item number right directly on your die. And if you go to stampinup.com and put that item number in, it'll tell you what set it's from. And then you can put it back with its friends. Just a quick little tip as I'm looking at this item number on here in case it made me think of it. It is a nice handy little tip if you are like me and things get left behind. No, I haven't really noticed ones that don't have it, but I'm sure that's probably can happen. But the ones that do, you can find their home. Okay, we now have all of our pieces. Those can go into our little trash pile here. That can go into the trash pile. All right. These go back to their home. Let's start by removing our adhesive sheet. I did bring some of them out of here. There we go. Just picking all the little left behind pieces out. So we want them to go away. We just want a pretty wood grain. Okay, so this goes right on top of our little crumb cake cross. We're just going to go ahead and line that up like so. And then tack that down once everything's all lined up. So we now have our wood grain. Well, you're welcome, Sherry. Okay, so next, once again, our cute little dimensionals here, the little baby ones. We're going to line them up. And then grab those little backings. Take our little cross. And next. Baby dimensionals. Pull those backings off. And let's put that one there. And these ones there. And then we're going to bring back our little rhinestones here. And I'm using 3 of the little ones. We can get our putty to behave. I'm going to put them right in the center of each of our flowers. And that finishes card number 3. Well, thank you, Kay. I loved making these cards tonight. They are probably some of my favorites, especially for the Easter season. So, recap, here's card number 3. Card number 2, God is Love. And then, of course, our first card, He is Risen. Oh, I'm glad you like them, Sherry. Thank you so much. My nose is itching. Oh, you're so welcome, Kay. Thank you for coming to hang out on this glorious Palm Sunday. It was actually a beautiful day today. The sun was out, which is lately for here in upstate New York, surprising to say the least. We haven't had a whole lot of sun around here lately. Lots of cold and miserable, but not a lot of sun. So I thank each and every one of you for coming to hang out. All right, ladies, thank you again so very, very much for coming to hang out with me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Obviously, next Sunday is Easter Sunday, so we will not be live. I want everybody to enjoy a beautiful Easter with your families and loved ones. But I am going to be sharing a link to join me Friday evening at 7 p.m. It is like a Zoom, so you're going to be able to converse back and forth. We'll be able to all get together and we'll just chit chat and craft. Grab a kit if you have any undone kits like I do, or any project that you happen to be working on. And it doesn't even have to be paper crafting. If you're working on something, you're crocheting something, just bring it along and come hang out and just chit chat. Again, it'll be open from 7 to 9 p.m. And again, you do not have to be here for the whole 7 to 9 p.m. You pop in while you can, pop out when you have to, or pop back in if you'd like to. It's all just going to be open door, come and go as you please, and just come have fun. All right. I hope you will come and join me Friday evening and have a crafty good time. All right, guys, I thank you again. I wish you a wonderful rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And like I said, hope to see you on Friday evening. Otherwise, I will see you in 2 weeks, God willing. Have a great night, guys. Bye for now.